Okay, so what I just learned was I was adding the extra dB boost to the desktop audio, and that desktop audio was not coming through instead of the macOS audio capture, which is what was the correct thing. My goodness, you guys, this is so tedious. Now I know why my husband used to spend forever tinkering when he was doing videography stuff, any videos for people, photography, graphic design, setting up his stream when he does events. Y'all, I was so. There's so many things as a wife that you do not understand until you get in the weeds with your spouse on the thing that they're working on. Or you go be present with them, you go attend stuff with them. And you got to go do that with a degree of patience because you think it's supposed to work one way, and you think that things are just going to line up real smooth, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, why is this so complicated? And then you go attend those things, like step one, like layer one of empathy and understanding. And, oh, I see what you was talking about. Layer one is when you go with them and just observe. Just try to be helpful. Just observe while they're setting up their stuff. And you're just there, right? You're helping. Where do you want this cord plugged up? Right? You're asking questions, trying to be helpful, thinking that you're being helpful. Oh, I think it might be this cord. No, it's not. You don't know what you're talking about. Be quiet. Can you hear this? You want this? Do you want that? Nope. And you be really committed to your patients because you know that you're there to learn, right? You know they're there to support. It's an important event for them. You're there to support, and you know how when you put things together it can be kind of stressful, but you don't understand the degree, right? So you just ready to bite your tongue as they're kind of like when you're trying to be helpful, but you in the way, but you don't realize you in the way. You think you're being helpful. You observe them working on that stuff. You get a degree of understanding and empathy and sympathy for why they be a little bit on edge when they got these things to set up. Something that you think is going to take something you think is going to take like 10 minutes to set up. Like, it's just a camera and a ring light. What are you talking about? And so when you're going with that person to that event thing that they're setting this stuff up, you be dragging your feet. You switching purses. You fixing coffee. They trying to leave. And they're trying all the like polite ways to tell you, we got to go because I got to set up. And you're like, I mean, it's just some cameras and some ring lights, right? It's just a microphone, and I don't know, you plug it in and it just. But cool. So you go with them to the event. You are committed to your patience and your grace and giving them grace for being snappy because you know that you just don't understand something. There's something I just don't get on why this man is always a little on edge when he has to go set up for events. But I'm committed to having a good time. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna try to be helpful, and I'm gonna have a good time. Right, cool. So then after the event, you have a little bit more understanding because you're like, you see where things don't work the right way. You see where he's trying to figure out some error or something. You see where people talking to him while he's trying to like set stuff up. And he's having to be in fun character, persona, cool guy mode while also trying to be like a support tech for himself. Okay, cool. So that's level one of understanding. Level two of understanding is where we have entered now. And that is when you get a little hankering for, get a little interest in, catch the bug, the creative bug, and start doing things yourself. Your spouse has benefited you by shortening some of the learning curve. Like when you're helping them out with stuff, they teach you Photoshop. When you're curious about something, they get excited, they teach you stuff, right? Their learning process has meant that you guys have accumulated a lot of gear. You don't quite understand why you need 50 different types of cameras or why this camera that you bought last year is now sitting in this bin. But you're like, he could have a more expensive hobby. It could be boats. It could be cars. You decide to let it ride because, I don't know, could be cool. I mean, he's at home, and I don't know, if we need to make some money, we can sell this stuff, and it brings him joy. Not real expensive hobby. All right, cool, whatever. Either way, you accumulate all this gear, right? So he's shortened your learning curve because he's taught you some things. He's accumulated all this gear so that when you start getting curious yourself, there's a camera, there's a ring light, there's 17 tripods, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds of mics, whole bins of them. So you really can get into it if you want to. And you ask them questions, they answer the questions for you, right? Okay, cool. And yet, with those learning curve shortcuts, handicaps, what's it called? Just efficiencies that you get because your spouse does this and has these things. Also, the software, right? He has the Adobe suite. I'm on his business as an what's it called? An officer, a deputy. It's not a deputy. It's I think it's called an officer. Whatever. I'm part of his business on paper. I use up one of his 3 uses of Adobe. So I ain't got to go get all the software, right? Okay, efficiencies for the learning curve. So again, we're talking about going from the spouse who knows nothing about creating, and you're always just like, why does this take so long? Why are you always so irritated when you're setting up? And why does nothing ever seem like it can't be that difficult, right? To then layer 2 of understanding, where you go with them to these events, you watch them set some stuff up, you start to learn a little bit yourself so that you can help them out when they need help, whatever, right? And then you're like, dang, this stuff really don't be working half the time you think it's going to. Or it requires so much more meticulous attention to get it working the way you want it working, right? It's not as simple as it looks like from the outside. And you're like, okay, I got a little bit more empathy supporting you and understanding now, right? Again, now layer 3 is when you become a creator yourself. You dip your toe in that kiddie pool. You're still kind of deciding, but you decide to give it a try, right? Imagine the amount of learning that you have to have. You're like, oh, now I really understand why you be when you're doing stuff, to a much further degree than I understood when I was just helping you out. And even that was better than I understood when I just wasn't paying attention to what you were doing at all. I will never ask this man when he gonna be done. I will never ask him, what's the absolute latest we can leave to get there and still be on time? I'm gonna leave when you ready to leave. When you got all your cords and your boxes and things set up. Because these things, you can get there, unplay everything, and it not work the way you think it's supposed to. Or one term means something else. And so you're sitting here hunting through 17 different settings boxes to try to get things set up. And then the instructions you pull up online on how to do something turn out to be for a Windows and you got a Mac. And you're shuffling through problems that can be caused by the hardware or the software or the connection between multiple online software things. And then somebody trip over your cord. And they be like, my bad, bro. I will never. I'm going to start sending this man hey, you want some snacks? Here, let me slide you a snack while you up here. Because y'all, my stomach is growling. It is 1:14 a.m. I'm thinking this is going to be easy. I just, press the stream button from OBS instead of pressing the record button. No, you got to connect your stream. and connecting your stream requires certain kinds of settings and blah, 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 whatever. This is it. I was supposed to do a test stream today. I've done 17 videos trying to make sure the sound is right and the lighting is right and how much the screen is showing in the view that actually gets into the video is right. I'm hungry, so I could use a snack. So next time I see him in the deep throes of setting up something, I'm gonna bring that man a snack. I'm gonna bring him a drink. My tea's almost gone. Can y'all see that? That's why my voice is hoarse. It's because I've been up here for like 8 hours. What time is it? I started this at 10. Okay, not 8 hours, but considering that I did work a full work day and manage my kids and stuff, and it's 1:16 a.m. and I did not get a stream going, but I did, hopefully we'll see, get the audio set up right. I learned a lot today. And so that I leave today and this experience with something positive, we're going to call out that silver lining. I learned quite a bit. And I hope that I remember after this recording, after I confirmed that this recording did what I needed it to do, like these settings worked, I hope I remember to actually save these settings and almost take a picture of how I have all these cords set up as well. So that tomorrow I can just get up, do my little makeup, touch up my little lipstick, and actually stream. And the other silver lining is, again, I have a new level of understanding and empathy for when my husband is working on this stuff, how technical it actually is, how meticulous you have to be, how like organized you have to be, and how disruptive interruptions can be, and how refreshing a fresh cup of tea or coffee, or in his case Sprite, he likes Sprite, and some snacks, because the way I'm about to go devour these Ritz crackers at 1:15 in the morning. So, as opposed to me getting a stream together, you guys get this. I hope that your day has been lovely, and that if nothing else, you learned something today that will make tomorrow a little bit smoother. So that said, if you guys found this at all entertaining, do me the benefit of joining me on stream tomorrow where we can all enjoy the settings that I have so diligently persisted through figuring out. All right? Good night. I guess technically good morning.